Dollar. Dirt and money, no soul. Had to go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack and flip for my foes. Dollar. Please tell me you can hear me. Don't turn your back and don't neglect me. Just let me know if you need me. Dollar. Let me watch out for my partners. Keep my money long, get my team strong. Let me run away from my problems.
Yep, what's good, original crew, man? We're back. Hey, man, we're back with another Mike Jack video. Today we have why Thriller was the worst thing to happen to Michael Jackson. Ooh, that's a deep title, see? That's a deep title. What you think? You ain't got none? All right, with that being said, let's...
Okay.
You never thought about it?
We'll see. Yeah, never thought about it.
I gotta see how we mapping all this. But let's go. Let's check it out. Let's see what's about, y'all. Let's get it.
As a 2026, Thriller is still the best-selling album ever made. Around 100 million copies worldwide, and still, nobody's even come close. And you'd think that'd be the best thing that ever happened to Michael Jackson. And technically it was. But Thriller was also at the center of broken friendships, lawsuits, and a man who was never satisfied with his own success. This is the story of how the greatest album ever made became one of the worst things that ever happened to the man who made it, and the side effects it had on everybody else who was a part of it. After Thriller, none of his other albums did the same numbers, and nobody really cares because all of his albums sold millions of records. But Michael cared. So much so that when Bad came out, he wanted it to outsell Thriller, which sold around 40 million copies at the time. But Bad only sold 20 million. Michael's manager, Frank DeLeo, he said, "Mike, we did the best we could do." And 3 weeks later, Frank DeLeo was fired. Michael's obsession with beating Thriller actually goes all the way back to Off the Wall. During the 1980 Grammy Awards, Michael was humiliated after Off the Wall only won 1 Grammy. In interviews with Rolling Stone, he said, "My family thought I was crazy because I was weeping so much about it. I felt ignored and it hurt. I said to myself, wait until the next time. They won't be able to ignore the next album." That experience lit a fire in my soul. During the recording of Thriller, Paul McCartney and Michael became good friends. They were two of the biggest music stars in the world, so it was only right that they worked together and shared tips and tricks to make each other better. And while they were working on The Girl Is Mine, Paul gave Michael some advice that would come back to haunt him for the rest of his career.
We wrote 2 songs together, and during lunch or something, he just took me aside. He said, "I'd like some advice." So I felt kind of big brotherly. You know, I'm quite a bit older than him. So I said, for a business, you ought to think about music publishing. It's because it's very good business. You love music. I'm into it. It does very well. It's a nice, easy business for a musician to be in. And it's a very rewarding business because it's music, it's songs, beautiful songs. So he kind of said, okay, you know, and that was the end of it. And then a couple of weeks later, we were chatting, and he just came up to me and said, "I'm going to buy your songs, you know?"
Paul taught Michael how money really worked.
I wish more people did understand music publishing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I took music publishing in school, and I'll just say this. I wish more people who truly had a passion for music or entertainment understood that there is a more to the dynamic of the music industry or just the entertainment world besides trying to be an act. You don't have to be a rapper. You don't have to be a singer. You don't have to be this, and this. You don't have to be the person in front of the camera or in front of the microphone. There's so many opportunities in the industry if you are highly educated with understanding. Though, why do you think there's so many multimillionaires in the business that has never picked up a microphone, probably can never even rap a lyric or sing a note? But they are mega millionaires. They control everything. They're not the act, but they understand the business. And most of the times, the ones who get screwed over the most are the ones who are the act because they don't understand the business. But with the publishing, bro, I always go back to my professor in school when she told me how much the dude, the Barney, I love you, you love me, we want. What is the
actual song?
What's the song?
The intro, the theme song.
I can't.
Is it the "I Love You"?
I can't remember exactly which one.
I can't remember.
I can't think of the
I can't
Barney
think of the
Whatever. He
Oh,
wrote.
okay, I thought you had.
Matter of fact, I think it's the I Love You he did. One of the two. Dude's a
It's one of the two,
multi-millionaire, and he lives on a farm ranch, big old farm ranch, and she handles his publishing. And she told us how much he makes a quarter, and the man don't do nothing. He got all his millions off of that. Jingles and theme songs pays the bills for your great grandchildren when you're no longer here.
And he just came up to me and said, I'm going to buy your songs, you know?
Paul taught Michael how money really works in the music business. See, the more songs you own, the more money you make. And you can own other people's songs too. Every time a song gets played in a grocery store or on TV, whoever owns the publishing rights to that song gets paid. So in 1985, the ATV publishing catalog goes up for sale, and ATV owns around 250 Beatles songs. Now, Paul wants it, obviously, because it's his life work, and it's his and John's catalog, and it's sitting there for sale.
I felt very embarrassed buying them myself because they're Lennon-McCartneys. I wouldn't have liked to just own them myself. I felt bad about that. So I rang Yoko, and I said, look, we got a chance to buy these songs. The man's asking 20 million, 10 to you, 10 to me. Should we do it? In fact, they didn't go for 20, they went for 50. Straight off the back of Thriller, he was like, cash rich, baby.
So Paul gets outbid by Michael. And this is the exact lesson that Paul taught him during the Thriller sessions. Now, this wasn't the end of the world, but...
Only thing I wonder in this situation, was he only mainly trying to get his publishing, or was he trying to get the catalog? Because then I would kind of understand, like, you know what I'm saying? If he was trying to underbid only to get his, but they was trying to sell everything, then typically they're going to sell it to the... I would want
The highest bidder.
To the highest bidder, because that person wants all of it and not just...
A part.
part of it, because then you got to... But the value... Part of the value is the Beatles. It's to say, hey, because of the act that they were, well, still is today in a lot of people's eyes. And so I wondered on that aspect, what was the dynamic for him? Was it mainly for the Beatles or was it for all of it?
That Paul taught him during the Thriller sessions. Now, this wasn't the end of the world, but then Paul didn't like how Michael started running the publishing company.
You know what is weird? I don't mind that because he had all the cash, someone was selling it, and he bought it. What I don't like is that I've actually written to him a couple of times with Dish in the Dirt. Howard, you got me at it.
Go ahead, yes.
I don't normally
You wrote him a couple of letters.
Wrote him a couple of letters saying, Michael, don't you think after, like, even if I was just a writer on the payroll, after 30 years of being reasonably successful for this company you now own, don't you think I could have a raise?
Yeah.
And, he said, oh, well, that's just business. I said, yeah.
Yeah.
And we've never talked about it. He won't even answer my letters.
Oh, my
so,
God.
What you think?
What I think about what?
I don't know, because this always goes. I'm thinking about everything, because I'm thinking about, like, even in my, like, contract and legal issues classes, like, everything when it comes down to the business side. It is just business. And I think people take it and twist it because of the act of being Michael. When at the end of the day, a lot of times people don't know the face or don't know the name of the person who owns the publishing of the record. And so if it wasn't Michael, but it was this other figure that you don't know the name and you don't know the face, then would it be just business? Or would it be...
Would the conversation be different?
Yes. So is it because Mike... Because I have... Because we talked about this in other videos. And people like, oh, Mike's such a...
what they call a snake?
Yeah, or an evil friend.
Evil friend or not a good friend. I'm like...
Put the friendship to the side. At the end of the day, like Mike said, this is business. This is how the music industry works. And if I'll just say this real quick, if you don't understand business, don't speak on something that you know nothing about.
Yeah, and I was just gonna say, whether it's right or wrong in your eyes or whatever, or you agree or disagree, people get screwed. This is a dirty business, and people get screwed over every day, or whatever the case may be. But I mean, it is business. Like, I mean, yeah.
Because I'm going to say this, it's a lot of things people don't do correctly when it comes down to the music business.
Yeah.
And honestly, there's actually supposed to be way more money pushed to the publishers. The publishers actually should be making way more money, but a lot of things are not handled correctly. Because every club, I'm gonna just say this, with a lot of people who want to be party promoters, club promoters, or whatever, whoever owned that establishment, actually, every time a DJ play a song, y'all supposed to pay the publisher. Because every time the song is spin, no matter what entity, somebody's supposed to get paid. So every time, if you hire me for a party, every time I play a song, you're actually supposed to pay the person to license to be able to play the song. A lot of people don't know this stuff, and it gets brushed on the rug, but it's one of those things that people don't. Every time a song is played, no matter where it's at, the publisher is supposed to be getting paid. So if you having a party, and if you agree with Paul McCartney, make sure you keep paying the publishers every time you play a song and you ain't paying nobody for it. Side with the business and side with it, you know?
Well, we haven't got that great a relationship.
They were never really close again. Paul felt betrayed, but Michael didn't do it to hurt him. He wanted to keep getting better and doing bigger things. And buying the Beatles catalog was the biggest move on the board at the time. And he used the money he made from Thriller to do it. But unfortunately, he lost one of his closest friends in the process. But there was someone even closer to Michael that the success of Thriller had a lingering effect on. Quincy Jones produced Off the Wall, Thriller, and Bad, the most successful run any artist and producer have ever had together. He found the songs, he shaped the sound, he sat in the studio for 14 months at a time, getting it just right. If Michael was the king of pop, Quincy, he built a throne. And the two of them were like brothers. But as Michael was speeding up, Quincy was starting to slow down. And Michael's hunger was growing as he was pushing for Bad to be better than Thriller. During the Bad
do you know their age difference?
I don't, but I do know that Quincy.
I know Quincy's older. I know he's theoretically older, but I'm wondering what age difference. Mike was still young, still kind of a little youthful with it, and I wonder was Quincy like, hey, I done made, you know what I'm saying? Because some producers like, hey, this was my gold mine. This would solidify me. I'm not chasing that same success anymore. Yeah. And while the artist, he might be like, hey, I'm still thriving. I'm still hungry. You know? I just was wondering that way what he said. How old Quincy?
Quincy was born in
25. That's a 25-year age
gap. Before he passed, he was born in
33. Mike was born in 58. So 20. Yeah. Mike had that hunger. Quincy probably was slowing down.
And Michael's hunger was growing as he was pushing for Bad to be better than Thriller. During the Bad sessions, Quincy brought in Run DMC because he could see hip-hop coming. And Michael told his manager behind Quincy's back, I think Quincy's losing it. And he doesn't understand the market anymore. Michael actually said that rap is dead. Now, this is in 1987, right before rap was about to change the direction of the entire industry. So even though Quincy was right, Quincy was getting tired and he didn't want to keep chasing Thriller numbers.
Weren't the two of you kind of disappointed creatively and sales-wise on the Bad LP? Disappointed with 22 million albums? No, not at all. I mean, if you look at it in relationship to Thriller, which is 40 million, but that's insanity to think you're going to do that again. 22 million albums is a lot of records. I wasn't disappointed. I've been in the business too long to be disappointed with 22 million.
So Michael hired new producers, Teddy Riley and other guys that had the current sound. But Michael was paying him 5 times what he ever paid Quincy. Now, a lot of people say Michael and Quincy had some kind of falling out. But Quincy understood Michael, he had to move on. But Thriller continued to haunt him in a whole nother way. After Michael died, the Jackson Estate and Sony went on to do multiple projects, like the This Is It documentary, the circus shows, and other recordings that used the music that Quincy and Michael wrote together. But they left Quincy out of the deal, and they didn't pay him his royalties. He was forced to take Michael's estate and Sony to court. He said he was owed millions in royalties off the records they made. And in 2017, the jury agreed, and they awarded him $9 million. And it only got uglier from there. Because in 2020, an appeals court overturned the ruling. They said the jury misunderstood some of the contracts and the amount was brought down to $2.5 million. The Jackson Estate attorney, Howard Weissman, he said to Quincy, "You're the last person we expected this from. Don't you realize you're essentially suing Michael himself?" And Quincy,
I'm not. And I hate people like this, bro.
It goes back to this.
And I hate people like this.
What you mean?
Because at the end of the day, similar to what was just going on, like, bro, it happens all the time, bro. And I'll say this, I don't care how much experience you have in this industry and how much education you have in this industry, somebody's always gonna try to fuck you. Mm-hmm. It's I don't know what it is, but it's such a greedy industry and it's such a dark industry. And honestly, that's one reason why I was like, because I started seeing it even like at the level when I was doing stuff, and I was just like, bro, people will snake you and back you, and just try to basically step over you. Mm-hmm. And the way I'm cut, I'm like, I'll whoop your ass. I'm for real. No, for real. Yeah. Because I've had those conversations. I was like, hey, I don't do the behind the back. I don't do the sneaking to try to. I don't do all that. Mm-hmm. And I've confronted people, and I'm like, hey, maybe this ain't the industry for me. But like I said, there's plethora of different avenues that you can always go into. It's a dirty game. And similar to Take Heath, before he passed, with his lawsuit that he had going on, which still is going on, even though he's no longer here. He's suing Sexy Red. Sexy Red said, "Hey, I shouldn't be involved in a lawsuit. That's the label I'm on," which it is, but you are also a part of it because the songs are represented. You know what I'm saying? So with the label not paying him, it's still bad business. Yeah. I have to include you. Yeah, you might not have, but I have to include you because
it's not personal.
Yeah, it's not personal. We can still have a tight. Yeah. We can still be like this. Mm-hmm. I want my paper. Yeah. I want my bread. Fuck all that. At the end of the day, I want my money, especially if we negotiate on the contract and you or your label renege. I'm not in the room with y'all. Mm-hmm. Somebody owe me my money. So it's business.
Said back, "I'm not suing Michael. I'm suing you all." Ultimately, Quincy said it wasn't necessarily about Michael. It was about protecting the work that they did together. It's just sad to see that this partnership that they had with all of this legendary music ended up with Quincy in a courtroom trying to argue for what's rightfully his, and then Michael not being here to back him up. But the damage wasn't just people Michael was close to. It hit someone you never expect. One of the most famous voices on the Thriller album. If you've ever heard Thriller, you've heard Vincent Price. He's one of the legends of horror, and he has one of the most famous 30 seconds in pop music. Vincent Price's wife was friends with Quincy Jones, so it was an easy connection. So Vincent comes in, and he gets offered a choice. He can own a small percentage of the album's potential earnings, or he can just take a one-time fee of $20,000. Guess which one he chose? Now,
which one you think he chose?
Me personally, I would choose.
No, not you personally. That's not the question. The question is which one you think he chose. Okay, especially with the time period.
With the time period, he may have chosen the one-time fee.
So he's a work for hire. Most work for hire choose the one-time fee. But similar to what's his name? Smart guy from Smart Guy. What's his name? Jason? Is his name Jason?
Yeah,
Jason Weaver.
Jason, yeah.
Jason Weaver. Ain't that his name?
Is that the one?
Is that his name? Yeah.
When he was talking about, Jason.
Similar to his situation when he Lion King.
Yeah.
And doing those songs. They wanted him to be a work for hire, which is a thing. You're work for hire. You just came in to do the record. They asked him, hey, one-time fee. And that's what they typically do. They one-time fee or percentage. His mom said percentage.
Mom was like,
because a lot of people say, hey, the percentage over time is a lot but maybe I don't see that day where it becomes a lot. So let me go ahead and get my check right now, and that check might be $250,000. I could be like, oh, I got $250,000.
Yeah.
Instead of taking probably the $10,000-15,000 right now.
Yeah.
And over time it has made him a millionaire that he can still survive off of.
Right.
I'll tell anybody, if somebody want to do, I always take the percentage, bro.
Yeah.
I always take the percentage. I always take, because also you can leave that in a will for your family, your estate, and to continue to pay them even after you're gone.
And me personally, I would have took the percentage, but I know times are different. People, and
I probably didn't think the song was gonna be that big.
Maybe not. Like sometimes in the moment, some people don't see like the full, potential of things, or the outcome of what something could be. But yeah.
Remember, at the time, nobody knew what Thriller was going to be. Taking a guaranteed check instead of a gamble on a pop song is a safe and sensible move for a Hollywood actor. And in 1982, $20,000 was worth about $70,000 in today's money. Yeah. So Vincent Price takes his fee, and then he watches the song become the most famous track on the most famous album ever made. He watches as his laugh on Thriller becomes more famous than any of his Hollywood roles, and he doesn't see another cent from any of it.
Michael sent me a wonderful gift. It's a framed picture of him, life-size, dressed. And it has a platinum record on it and a gold record. It's in color. And at the bottom it says, "To Vincent Price, thank you so much for your help with Thriller, in celebration of the 30 millionth album." Can you believe that? And I got none of it. I'm not bitter, mind you. I'm not. Just hurt. Hurt. Right here. Yeah.
Now, Vincent, he's joking here, but he really was hurt and disappointed because there's other accounts that he spoke and said that he felt forgotten. Now, this isn't Michael's fault because initially Epic Records owned the masters, and Vincent, he unfortunately signed his rights away. And by the early 90s, he was old and his health was failing. Yeah. And he felt sad that he and Michael were never able to reconnect. But I like to think he died satisfied because even though he didn't see the financial benefit from Thriller, he died knowing that he was a part of the greatest record of all time, and the world will never forget his iconic laugh. Now, Vincent Price, he at least got a year's salary from Thriller, but the next person is probably the second most recognizable face when it comes to the song, and she walked away with almost nothing. Ola Ray plays Michael's girl in the Thriller video. She's become a cult favorite. People dress up as her for Halloween, people cosplay as her at conventions, and she's portrayed in every Thriller-inspired video. But she only got paid around $2,500 for it. Now, at the time, that wasn't an insult because $2,500 for a music video in 1983, that was a normal day's work. But Thriller is not a normal video. It ran on a loop on MTV for years. It got sold on VHS. The behind the scenes tape alone became one of the best-selling home videos ever. And it got re-released, repackaged, played in Thriller documentaries for decades. And Ola Ray, who's on screen for pretty much the whole thing, she's still just looking at that same flat day rate. And she's watching the video become the biggest thing ever to this day. So she spent years trying to get a piece of it. She eventually sued Michael's company over royalties she said she was owed from the video. The case, it dragged on, and Michael died in 2009 while it was still unresolved. Now we have to remember though, Michael wasn't running his company by himself. There's many other people involved when it comes to tracking royalties, sales, and honoring contracts. If the Thriller video gets played 1,000 times in some foreign country, Michael has no idea about it. It's up to the broadcast companies and the accounting firms to figure all that out. Michael even helped her get all her paperwork together so she can plead her case.
They were treating you like this in court. Did that make you think differently about Michael himself? Because he was the one that set up this contract for you.
Right. No, it did make me feel any way about Michael. As a matter of fact, Michael was the one who sent me the documents to take to court because I had a conversation with him about it when I wasn't receiving my residuals. So he sent me the information showing me what was being paid and, how much I was being paid.
The sad part is she said that she ended up raising her daughter basically on welfare, living below the poverty line. And after Michael died, she settled with the estate for only $55,000. But her original contract said that she was supposed to get 2.5% of all sales of everything with her name, face, and her voice on it.
Okay, so that's different.
Yeah.
That's 100% different. Because I was going to say, at the end of the day, again, this is a work for hire, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know
The contract.
The contract. I'll have to see the contract. Can I look over certain contracts? Damn. I ain't got access
And I also feel like
I forgot I didn't get access to my email.
you
No more.
And I also feel like with the unfortunate timing of Michael's death, I also feel like that was kind of over with just well here 55,000, take it or leave it.
Because I know his mom is supposed to be like the overseer of his estate. I think, and his kids, but also 9 times out of 10, they ain't the ones who run like the day to day.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? They got other people, other like lawyers and stuff, and at the end of the day, they trying to make the most money they can off of this man, even though, especially with him being dead and gone.
Yeah.
They like, oh, we finna milk it too. So, you know what I'm saying? It's a dirty, dirty industry.
Yeah, it is.
Now, to put this into perspective, if we look at the YouTube video alone, the video has over 1 billion views. And based on the average YouTube revenue rate, the YouTube video alone has made around $5.5 million. And 2.5% of that is $137,500. Now, streaming wasn't around in the 80s, so this wasn't in her contract, but the VHS sales and TV broadcast revenue is much higher than YouTube. So it just goes to show how much money was held from her for Thriller. Now, the bright side is she still has love for Michael, and he personally had nothing to do with her not receiving her royalties. But it goes to show the Thriller curse was much bigger than Michael himself. And the curse didn't only affect the people in front of the camera. John Landis was the director of the Thriller video. And before Thriller, music videos were basically just a band standing in a room playing the songs. But Landis turned it into a 14-minute short film with a real plot and movie effects. Actual filmmaking. Aside from Michael and the other cast, he's one of the main reasons the video was as good as it was. And years later, he ended up in court over it too. John Landis's deal was 50% of the net profits for the video. And for about 20 years, everything was fine. But somewhere in the mid-2000s, the accounting wasn't adding up for him. The video was still everywhere, licensed out for games, toys, comic books, documentaries. All of it was still generating money. And Landis says the payments just stopped coming. So in early 2009, he also sued around the same time Ola Ray did, eventually claiming that he was owed something like $2.5 million. And ironically, all of this is right at the point where Michael's whole world was falling apart financially. He was already in debt. His company's a mess. The company that was supposed to be paying Landis basically became defunct. So this wasn't Michael sitting there scheming to try to rob people. It's more that the machine around Thriller became so big and so chaotic, so much in debt, that the money stopped being tracked. And the only way to get it was to take it to court. But everything fell apart in June 2009. Quincy was suing Michael's company. Ola Ray was in court with Michael's company. John Landis, along with a lot of other legal battles. And at the same time, Michael was trying to force himself to get through a tour that he couldn't do. There's really no villain in this story. It's just people who put their hands on the biggest thing in music, and every single one of them ended up on the outside of it or in a courtroom over it, while the thing itself just keeps printing money without them. Everybody wants to do or make something great, but people don't really think about once you finally do or make that thing, you have to live in its shadow forever. And sometimes you don't even get paid for it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I got the idea for this video from my own experience in the music industry and talking.
I'll say this, again, one thing I'll say for sure, what the people directly suing Michael, no. I'm sure Michael still had a good relationship with a lot of these individuals before. Yeah. But at the end of the day, again, business. I want what's rightfully owed. Also, backtrack. Even though you're suing Michael Jackson's estate, they probably can get it audited where they'll go back and be able to retrieve the money from the people that, you know what I'm saying, previously. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad that he died before a lot of things can get resolved.
Yeah, true.
And it's sad to see also how at the end of the day they are milking his legacy too.
Yeah.
Even though the fans we love, we still want all of that. We still want the movies. But you got to also think it's a dirty game because others are trying to milk it as much as they can for their money pockets. Michael don't profit from none of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's not profiting from y'all fandom. It's other people that had nothing to do with it that's profiting.
Yeah, true.
But y'all spam us up, man. Let us know y'all thoughts about it for us in the comments down below, man. But until next time, y'all know how it go, man. I do go by the name DJ New Kid. This is We are. We are.
Go and get it, ain't no time to kick it. Got a stack of flip for my folks. Dollar, 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 dollar. Please